What's going on YouTube? We're back in another video on Kira09, man, and we're going to be talking about the content that we are going to be getting in January. So as you can see here on the roadmap, we do have up until April, but obviously it being the month of January, we're going to be going through the content we're going to be getting. So first off, we're going to start off with is the Spiral Tower of Screams. So here, this is where they get into talking about it. We're going to just let it play, then I'll quickly, wrap up everything. First thing to know is that it's a permanent piece of content. You only That's an interesting word. You only need to conquer up to the 150th floor of the Spiral Tower of Scream. So we know it's a permanent piece of game mode. Them, speaking directly about survival and defense, I'm guessing they're going to try to make this mode cater to those type of characters a lot more. Or if not catered, those type of characters will be a lot more useful in this compared to maybe a Bastion of Hyperspace. And we also know it's going to be having 150 floors, which is pretty insane. And we also have when someone defeats whatever the floor, battle, whatever you want to call it, it seems like you're going to be able to check the decks or whatever they use, the combatants that they use, which is pretty cool. I guess it might help some people to give them an idea of what people use to clear pieces of the content tower. Probably really be good for people that don't watch YouTube videos or something like that. Now there is something here that I just want to quickly speak about. It does seem like every 5 levels there's like I don't know what you want to call it, a certain symbol on every 5 floors. So I'm guessing every 5 floors we're gonna have like some type of hard, I guess, boss battle, maybe something like that. But obviously the every 5 stages there's obviously going to be something a lot more different compared to the regular stages. I just want to quickly note that they also mentioned that every floor is going to be having like 5 waves. I do wonder if that's going to be same for the ones that have these type of symbols. I guess we're going to see if they talk about it or if we're going to have to wait to play it. We also found out that the season will be resetting. What did I say? The season? The tower will be resetting every season. So once the season's over, the tower will reset. And in terms of rewards, they were talking about stickers, growth currency. I guess it's just going to be the typical rewards we get. Hopefully a few summons too. And we also find out that the Spiral Tower of Screams will be coming on January the 14th. Which I believe is alongside the release of Naja. And with the memory fragment management improvements, just thinking about just some nice quality of lives. I think they still could improve upon it, and I think they might in the future. But from what I saw, they were more talking about when you upgrade it, and let's just say there's one specific thing like a crit rate that's usually getting enhanced. Usually we'll just see the numbers go up, but now when this update comes out, we will see how many times it's also been upgraded. So let's just say you did 4 let's say you leveled up something to level 5 and crit rate went up 3 times. There will probably be a number next to the crit rate saying 3, just so it will tell you, yeah, okay, you leveled up into crit rate 3 times when you were leveling up your gear. And they also talked about the screen, like when you're going in and out, because right now when you level up gear, you have to like upgrade it, back out again, and all that type of stuff. Now you don't have to do that. It will be a lot more simpler and just a lot more easier to do. Also, I believe certain stats will also be highlighted depending on the character, I believe. So let's say you have a DPS character that needs attack, crit rate, crit damage. I believe those type of things will be highlighted, just so you could catch your eye a bit more onto what those characters need. The unique codex option is basically going to be something separate from the other zero system maps that you usually get, and usually you could just enter it and there might be like 6 unidentified areas that you could go in and do what you want, what I'm saying. Or it could be something story related with the unidentified areas, something like just little and cool, which is interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how it works as well. But yeah, I do wonder if it could be something like you could get a unique codex options, and instead of 5 unidentified areas, could it be like 5 bosses back to back to back to back to back? What I'm saying? And maybe you get something cool or crazy for being able to complete that they could really cook with the unique codex options for sure. Then with the story skip feature, it's pretty self-explanatory too. You're just going to be able to skip the story if you want, like instead of just fast forwarding it. I'm guessing it's just going to be a straight skip button. But the simplified simulation gameplay is not the skip ticket that I feel like most of us were hoping for, but they have made it a lot more easier, where you do one run and you get the reward of 3. you know. So they have, you know, just basically made it simplified and just a bit more easier to get your rewards and get simulation done with, you know, just to, you know, use your stamina, then get up out there and go grind it what you want to grind. So it's a step in the direction. I just wish, you know, we just had some, you know, skip tickets and, you know, we could just use all of our stamina in one go and, you know, just move on and do what we gotta do, especially once you've completed it. But for now, from what they explained, they did say you could do one run, and with that one run you will get the 3 rewards instead of, you know, how you would use 60 stamina to do 3 tries. It will literally be like 3 battles. Now it will just be 1 battle and you'll get your 3 rewards. So that's what we're gonna have coming up in January. Spiral Tower of Screams, just to quickly wrap it up, this is the same day Naja drops. It's gonna be 150 floors. We're gonna have 5 waves per battle, and it seems like every 5 battles there was a certain like type of symbol on those numbers. So 5, 10, 15, 20, there was certain symbols on them, so they might be, you know, typically harder than the other fights. You're also going to be able to see other players, you know, combatants that they used, and I believe the decks that they used as well to defeat certain towers. So yeah, I think it's definitely going to be fun, and it's going to come out at the downtime of season 2. So there will be no season during January, so you can really just take your time to grind Spiral Tower of Screams. Then alongside with that, we're going to have the memory fragment management improvements. As I explained earlier, it's kind of just a bit more quality of life. Leveling up stuff is going to be a lot more easier. The backing in, backing out of, you know, the gear screen is going to be a lot more simplified. You're going to you know, certain stats will be highlighted with certain characters with certain gear, and when a certain stat gets upgraded, you're actually going to see a number alongside with that to tell you how many times that stat has been upgraded. Then with the unique codex option, it's basically going to be another thing you could get when you're, you know, trying to get new worlds for the Zero system. A unique codex could pop up instead, and with that unique codex you could go into that and it could be like 6 unidentified areas, you know, back to back to back to back. Or, you know, who knows what they could really cook with it. As I said, they could maybe do, you know, 6 bosses, purple bosses back to back to back to back to back, you know what I'm saying, something crazy like that for some extra rewards. So that's going to be really fun and interesting. Next up, we got a story skip feature, which is pretty self-explanatory. It's just a straight skip button for the story. Then here we're going to have the simplified simulation gameplay. So as you guys will probably know, when you do the simulation, say you're using 60 stamina, it usually does 3 battles. From what I understand, if you was to use 60 stamina, basically do 3 runs, it will be, you know, 1 fight instead. So they kind of simplified it to make you just get your rewards a lot more quicker, and it's going to be a lot more time efficient. But that's everything that's going to be coming out in January. Hope this video helped you guys out, and I hope it was a good watch. Like, subscribe, run up. Catch y'all in the next one. I'm out.